So obviously a lot of people are talking about the Caleb Plant versus Canelo fight. One thing I think is worth noting for this particular fight is the fact that a lot of people are saying that Caleb Plant has no chance of winning because Canelo's on this tear, and he thinks like Canelo is just like literally on a bit of a tear. He's making a historic run. If he beats Caleb Plant, it looks like he's going to unify the 160 or 168 division. He's collected several belts. He's beaten high level opposition from Kovalev to Golovkin. So a lot of people are thinking there's no way Caleb Plant actually has a chance of winning, and a lot of people actually say Caleb Plant is going to probably get knocked out. And to be fair, I actually do believe that he is probably gonna actually lose to Canelo. But the fact is, Caleb Plant himself believes he's gonna beat Canelo, and the way I can see this is the fact that there's a lot of things that he's doing that are just I think in my own head that he believes he's gonna win. So I could give an example. Like recently I've seen him get some he's been getting working from Andre Ward. Andre Ward has come into his camp, and he's told him like I think he's been giving him some coaching. So yeah, I've been watching interviews as well, and he talks about the fact that he basically talks about the fact that he thinks he's going to 100% win. So I think Caleb Plant is going into this fight with the belief that he's going to win, and he's absolutely going to beat him. He's been saying stuff like there's no way Canelo Alvarez is better than me. He's been talking about what he's going to do after the fight as well. He's been saying stuff like the fact remains that he acknowledges that he's a great fighter, but he also acknowledges the fact that he thinks that he can actually beat him. So from that perspective, I just think it's a good mentality to have that Caleb Plant is having for going into this fight. You never want to go into a fight thinking the other guy's going to win. So from that perspective, I think it's positive. I think Caleb Plant is trying his best to do everything he can in his power to win. And I think to some extent, Caleb Plant, like, say what you like about Billy Joe Saunders, he's a very skilled boxer, but I don't think Billy Joe Saunders has the same level of drive and commitment and dedication and discipline that Caleb Plant has. Caleb Plant is a fighter. If you look at him in between training camps, he doesn't blow up. He's always in the gym. I mean, he's probably not as talented as Billy Joe Saunders is in terms of pure boxing skills, but in terms of discipline, if Billy Joe Saunders had the discipline of a Caleb Plant, like in between fights, he never blew up. In terms of weight, he's always disciplined, always in training camp, always working as hard as he possibly can. Then I think is a very good chance that Billy Joe Saunders would have done better in his fight against Canelo. And to be fair, he did do well against Canelo before Canelo inevitably broke his eye socket. So the fact is, right, with the mentality that I think Caleb Plant is looking to actually beat Canelo. Now that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but at least he's going in with the mentality to actually do it, which is positive. You can't have the mentality that you're going to lose, even if you're going up there against a fighter that many people deem is unbeatable. No fight is unbeatable. When you think a fight is unbeatable, that's usually when they lose. So yeah, so I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great fight for him to actually prove his worth. And I think if there's a fight where you want to bring it all together and make sure everything's right, why not do it on the biggest stage against the top fighter in the world that everyone has as their number one pound for pound opponent, like who everyone has as their number one, who everyone sees as the number one pound for pound guy on the planet. The fact remains, if there's ever a fight where you want to get it all together, I think that this is the fight now. So I think Caleb Plant has got the mentality that he's going to go in there and he's going to give it his best shot. Whether he can pull it off or not is a different matter entirely, but the fact remains, at least he's going to go in there and he's going to give it his all. And let's be real, Caleb Plant is a fighter that is pretty disciplined. He's a fighter that trains year round. He's a fighter that he's going to put the work in no matter what. So I think from that mentality, maybe this fight is going to be worth it. And it seems like he's not cutting any corners. He's going to do everything he can in his power to put himself in a position where he can pull off the upset. And I don't think it's impossible for him to do it. This is an undefeated world champion. He's a fighter that's seems like he really wants this as well. and I think he'll be a great thing for him. I was just wondering what SOG Andre Ward has been saying to Caleb Plant behind the scenes. Maybe he's telling him about game plans and like how to fight on the inside against Canelo, and I think it's positive for him. I mean, whatever he can do, if even mentally, even if Andre Ward doesn't tell him anything like from a technical perspective, but maybe psychologically he's telling him something that can maybe get the best out of him on the day. I mean, it's positive. Everything's positive. So, yeah, that's my opinion on this. What's your opinion? What do you think is going to happen when they both fight? Do you think there's a chance that Caleb Plant can pull off the upset? I wouldn't say... I still think Canelo's going to win. I think he's on a tear right now. But I think the chances of it happening... it's more likely to happen with a fight that's 100% training all the time, and who's putting the time in, and who's going to make sacrifices, then it's more likely to happen with a fighter that's talented like a Billy Joe Saunders, but is probably not going to put the same level of dedication in the way he should do. So yeah, from that perspective, I think it's a great opportunity for him to really show his worth in the boxing world, and I think he should grab it with both hands. And he's going to make a cool 10 million from this fight. That's what I've been hearing, 10 million. So I think it's the right opportunity for him to really show who he is to the boxing establishment, really put his name on the map. A lot of people don't think he's going to win, so he's got nothing to lose. You're going to lose anyway. Well, you're going to win even if you lose, if you're making 10 million a fight. But from the perspective of being a competitor, you're going to win anyway if all you do is give a good fight, because everyone's expecting you to lose because Canelo is seen as pound for pound number one. So from that perspective, I feel like Caleb Plant is going into the fight with the right mentality, and I think no one should underestimate him, because obviously I believe he's an undefeated world champion, but he is going up there against an all-time great in Canelo. But let's be real, man. Much better upsets have happened in the sport of boxing. I mean, this is boxing for a reason. Anything can happen. So, do I think Caleb Plant is going to win? No. Do I think he can win? Possibly. I mean, it can happen. Anything can happen. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I just like the fact that he's going in with the mentality of a winner. He's not going in to acquiesce. I think obviously he might not perform, and that's fair enough, but he's less likely to give a performance like Avni Yildirim gave if he's going in with the mentality to win, as opposed to just coming for the paycheck. So yeah, that's my opinion. Tell me your opinion, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace.